yellow bus pulled into a...
Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to her YT story. I want to do this, but if this video gets 50 likes, I'll watch his YT story.
sketchy gas station in the middle of nowhere, and the entire...
This is all fake, by the way. It's not based on real events. It is fake. It's fake.
cheer squad poured out like we'd been caged for a week. My friend Kayla sniffed herself.
First thing, that's fake. No one says that we poured out like we've been caged for a week. No one says that.
I can't believe we have to travel in our cheer uniforms. I bet football players don't have to deal with this. I was scanning for road signs when I noticed an old man sitting on a bench outside the front window. He was watching us. His eyes moved from girl to girl like he was taking attendance. Our coach, Ms. Adler, walked right up to him and asked,
to say half the class, or half all the people are usually not even there.
"Hello there? Do you happen to have directions to the Topekigi Yugni Teamwork Summer Camp?" He slowly looked up at her and spit on the ground. "Go back the way we came and turn right at the yellow
You haven't been here till now.
scarecrow, not the blue one. You'll see it further down their road." Ms. Adler clasped her hands. "Thank you so much, kind sir." Then he added, "The land up there takes what it's owed." Ms. Adler laughed it off, patted his shoulder, and walked back to the bus smiling. "What an interesting man," she said as she walked by. Kayla whispered in my ear, "Did that man just curse us?" I snorted and headed back to the bus, but when I looked back, his eyes were locked directly onto mine. I looked away first and rushed back onto the bus. The bus wound up the mountain. The road narrowed and the cell towers disappeared. Kayla pulled a switchblade from her jacket and flipped it open against her knee. I looked around to make sure no one saw. "Kayla, you know weapons aren't allowed." She tucked it back. "I'm going to the middle of nowhere with a bunch of people who can't even change a tire. You're welcome." 2 rows behind us.
You're the only one who can't change a tire. I'll take that back.
Brianna and Jess were doing a terrible job of whispering. My boyfriend Tyler is driving up tonight after lights out to meet with me.
They could at least switch the AI voice or animate people in the background like Zach D Films would.
Jess gasped. "No freaking way." Hannah, sitting ahead of us, held her
Where did that come
freshly painted nails out the window to dry, dripping
freshly paint? When did she freshly paint her nails? Okay, now who's texting me? Oh, okay.
neon pink polish hit everything in a 3-foot radius. At the edge of a small town we passed, I noticed a hand-painted welcome sign nailed to a rotting post. A weird symbol was painted on it, a circle with lines radiating inward, like a sun collapsing into itself. I stared until it was behind us. The campgrounds looked like it hadn't been updated since before my grandparents were born. Wooden cabins formed a half circle around a fire pit. An open field had knee
Look to the right, everybody.
high grass you could get lost in. The only cool thing was the rusted archery range with targets mounted on hay bales that were
So explain to me, how's the class gonna shoot the arrows if there's only 3
falling
bows
apart.
for, like,
Hannah pressed her face against the bus window. "Please tell me those targets are for us. I've been dying to shoot something all summer." Devin turned to her. "Summer started last week, Hannah." "Whatever. I called dibs on the first shot." 5 counselors stood waiting by the fire pit, all men.
What the? They're all yellow.
All smiling with every tooth showing. The head counselor stepped forward. His skin looked like
He walked forward, not stepped forward.
it had been left in the sun for years. "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to have the time of your lives." Hannah didn't wait half a second. "Do you even brush your teeth? They're so yellow. Are there bathrooms here? Because I'm not squatting behind a tree for a week." Half the team burst out laughing. The counselor smiled.
That's an entire team.
Didn't drop, but his eyes narrowed. Then he laughed and gestured for us to follow. The cabins had screen doors, no locks, and mattresses
That is not a screen door. God.
that looked like they'd survived a flood. Another
They don't look like that.
counselor pointed at the tree line. "Woods go on for miles in every direction. Don't wander off alone or something might take a nasty bite out of you." He
Like what?
winked. None of us smiled back. Once inside the cabin, I pulled out my phone. 1 bar, then none, then one
1 bar, then none.
again. Kayla checked her phone.
It was 2 bars the entire time.
No signal, no data, nothing.
No signal, no data. That's the same freaking thing, unless you lost your unless you didn't pay for cell phone data. That makes no sense. Just say you didn't pay for the data.
She tossed her phone on the mattress. Guess we're roughing it. I fell back onto my bed and eventually fell asleep. She tossed her phone on the mattress. Guess we're roughing it. I fell back onto my bed and eventually fell asleep.
What is that supposed to mean?
To the sound of bugs and branches scraping the roof. Suddenly, a hand shook my shoulder, and I opened my eyes to no sunlight. A girl stood over me, flashlight trembling, mascara smeared. Hannah is missing. We searched the woods for hours. Our flashlights shone into endless trees that swallowed the beams with darkness 20 feet.
That's just horrible English. The flashlights, the endless. It makes sense, but it just sounds so weird.
Out. The counselors kept steering us whenever we got too far. Try this way. Stay in pairs. After 3 hours of finding nothing, the head counselor waved us all over to regroup. We'll pick it back up at first light. Everyone back to your cabins. Ms. Adler squeezed my arm on the way back.
Why does she still have a whistle, my lord? She sleep with her whistle?
She's fine, sweetheart. She probably found a warm spot and fell asleep. I looked at her face and could tell she believed her own words. I laid in my bed for hours, unable to fall asleep. A scream cut through the air before the sun.
Force goes on for miles, they said. Looks like a plains village from Minecraft could be.
Cleared the ridge. I was out of my bunk and running barefoot toward the archery range.
She's gonna have shoes on.
My cheer squad members were stopping one by one ahead of me.
Dang it! I thought. Okay.
Each one froze in place. Then
I want to get more things I can say bad about them. Make the video more entertaining.
I did the exact same thing. Hannah was pinned to the center of the archery target. Her head hung forward and her hair covered her face. Her neon pink nail polish caught the early morning sun. The girl next to me dropped to her knees in the grass. Screaming started and didn't stop.
Where'd the other people go?
Cheer members grabbed each other. The boys held about 3 crying girls each. Ms. Adler's hand covered her mouth and stayed there. One boy said, "We need to leave, right?"
The school bus isn't gonna start. I'll get a bow and arrow. Give it to someone that you trust. You know what, scratch that. I'll take one, then throw on everybody. Well, anyone that I don't trust. And then...
Now, let's get on the bus. Suddenly, we were turning, retreating from the corpse of our friend and teammate. My legs were already moving when the counselors stepped forward, blocking our path. The head counselor held up his hands. "Everyone, listen to me."
Have you heard? This is the weakest formation ever. If you had any brain cells, you'd go on. If they do anything, kick them in the nuts. They're all men. She's melted on the fire of this bald-ass guy's head.
We just got word that cell towers in this area are completely down, and
no one asked. You just leave. Go to a different spot.
There's been a rock slide on the access road overnight. The only way off this mountain is...
How do you know that, then? How do you know that? Did you just go over there and happen to create the rock slide? Or quote-unquote find it? Like, who just does that? That was
blocked until an emergency crew can clear it. He
go the other way.
Paused and scanned our faces. We've already radioed for help. It's on the way. For now...
You just said the cell signal's down. Well, how are you radioing for help? Okay, already radio for help. So, they already knew about the woman getting pinned to the dart, whatever that is. That makes no sense.
Everyone needs to stay calm and stay together. This is the...
No, you're getting pushed in the fire and they're gonna leave.
Safest place for you. Everyone pulled out their phones at the same time. One girl said, "Why don't I have any bars?"
Because they sabotaged you, duh. Or maybe the wind blew down the cell tower or something, dude.
Another cried, "With no way to call home. Call the police. Call anyone."
Didn't you just not have bars either way? God.
What do we do? Ms. Adler stepped in front of the group. She put her arm around the nearest crying girl and raised her voice. The counselors are trained for situations like this. Help is coming. We need to trust the process. She looked at...
See, if this is proof it's fake. Is that even the same? I swear to God, that guy was not there earlier. In my future editor self, if that guy wasn't there earlier, put a note.
The counselors with complete, unquestioning faith. I looked at the counselors with the complete opposite look. The counselors insisted on splitting us into smaller groups across different—
What the fuck? No. 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 Absolutely the fuck not. Like, yeah, excuse my French, but hell no. What the hell is this? Why is the skin different? That's different than that. That's different than that. That's also different.
cabins. For safety, to keep everyone calm, they grabbed our arms and pointed in different directions. Some of us resisted, holding on to one another like a life preserver. However, they got their way.
They got their way. If the teeth, you know what? Well, let's just continue with the video. Okay, guys, we just continue.
Ended up in a cabin with Kayla, Devin, and Lisa. The four of us sat on our bunks in silence until Kayla pulled me to the
I thought they said groups of 3. That's 4 people.
corner. She pressed something into my hand, her switchblade. Just in case, she whispered. What about you? She held up an
Yeah,
even
what about-
bigger switchblade and smirked. You didn't think I only carried one, did you? I tucked her gift into the waistband of my cheer skirt and pulled my shirt over it. Thanks, Kayla. We hugged and were terrified of letting go. The day dragged on. The counselors brought us food, canned soup and bread that tasted like it had
What
been
the? Why is his hands covered in blood?
stored underground for months. They smiled and said,
No, why?
Don't worry, help is on the way. The moment the sun set, a counselor stopped by our cabin to deliver the worst news. One of your fellow teammates, Amber, wandered off toward the creek. We're looking for her now. He left before we could ask a
shit.
single question. We stared at one another in
I would have left if I had a switchblade.
horror. The
Also,
next
who keeps a switchblade in their pocket open?
morning, the counselor came back. Unfortunately, 2 more from your squad are gone. They snuck out during the night. Happens every year. Scared kids try to walk home. We'll find them. Don't worry. He smiled, showing his yellow teeth. I noticed his shirt had
He
a
has even more blood.
dark stain near the collar. He noticed me staring and buttoned his jacket over it. The moment he walked out, Devin leaned into me. Nobody who
Get the
wanders
knife.
off comes back.
Get the knife, get the knife, get the knife. If that happened, I'm pulling out the knife. As soon as they come back and stabbing all of them. The teacher said, it's like, can you not see the blood on his shirt?
This is super
He
weird.
didn't even
I
cover
nodded
it
my
up.
head, agreeing. We need to talk to Ms. Adler. Lisa stepped forward.
The hell she's
But they
gonna
won't
do?
just
She's
let us
probably
out.
missing.
I grabbed Kayla's hand. Can you distract them long enough for me to sneak out? She smiled and winked.
She
Leave
has
it to me.
another
10
switchblade.
minutes later, Kayla was crying hysterically in the arms of the counselor guarding our door, and I was hopping out the window. I found Ms. Adler in the mess hall.
She didn't even open the window. Also, how are they escaping if they're guarding the doors? How are they escaping if they're guarding the doors? What?
She was alone, tearing a piece of bread into smaller and smaller
Why is it hollow? You know, screw
pieces
it.
and not eating any of them. I sat down beside her. Girls are disappearing and nobody is coming back. The counselors are lying. We need to get the rest of the girls and run.
Maybe mention the part where there's blood on them.
She put her hands on my shoulders. These are trained professionals, sweetheart. I know it's scary, but we have to trust the system. I looked at her, then pulled away and walked out. I had to crouch by the back wall of a cabin, holding my phone at weird angles trying to catch a single bar of signal. Voices carried from the cabin.
Weird angles. Oh yeah, I'm holding them at such weird angle. Proceeds to do this with her phone. And yes, that was my phone if you heard anything.
Next door caught my attention. 2 counselors were talking, so I inched forward to hear them better. I got blood on my damn jacket again.
Okay, first of all, record on
Single
voice
bar of
memos
signal. Voices
or
carried
on your phone, and there has to be some way to make it so just save it in photos, and then police. There's a better way for this. As soon as you realize you're about to get kidnapped, or you think it's your turn, put it no password on your phone, then hide it somewhere. When the police investigate, they'll find it, and it'll be the photos. Boom. Problem
from the
solved.
cabin next door caught my attention. 2 counselors were talking, so I inched forward to hear them better. I got blood on my damn jacket again. My eyes widened. From which one? That mouthy bitch from the first night. Glad she went first. She had a mouth on her that wouldn't quit. The land doesn't care about manners.
See,
No.
this is why I would have started a voice memo the second I heard them talking. Okay, guys.
Oh, but I do. They both laughed. I covered my mouth with my hands and my phone slipped out, landing in the dirt. I pressed my back against the wall and held my breath. After 5 minutes of not breathing, I grabbed my phone and tiptoed away. I climbed back through the window and found Kayla, Devin, and Lisa waiting for me. I told them everything I'd learned. Lisa collapsed onto the
door's
ground
wide
and pulled her
open.
knees to her chest. How many of us are left? I counted on my fingers. Maybe 9 or 10, spread across 4 cabins.
Bro, you literally counted such a low budget animation. And yeah, I know animation isn't easy, but at least try to make a good animation instead of rushing through everything. And yeah, I can't be talking. I suck at animate. But you have an actual team, and the funding to actually pay the animators enough for counting on their fingers isn't rubbing their fingers.
Devin started pacing.
together
The
weirdly.
archery range had tools in the storage box by the targets. I saw a hatchet during the tour.
I'm pretty sure all of these are just assets, or like the same like pre-built animations from all their videos. It's like even the backpack, like putting on things the same in each video.
Kayla ran over to her bag and pulled out a notebook, then started sketching a map of the campgrounds. If we go through the tree line behind the mess hall, it connects to the access road about a mile out. Lisa looked over. What about the rock slide? I frowned.
Okay, what
I doubt
about
it's
it?
real. If it is, then we climb over it. If it's a lie, we can drive to safety. Lisa started crying. What if they catch us? How can we get a car? Oh my God, we're all going to die. Kayla looked at me. I touched the switchblade in my waistband. I walked over and put
That
my
was
hand on
not
Lisa's
the
shoulder.
switchblade
Then
in
we
the
die
waist-
fighting. We're cheerleaders. No one's going to snuff out our spirit. Lisa took a deep breath and nodded slowly. We waited until 2 a.m. when it was pitch black out. We slipped out the back window,
It's pitch black at midnight, but whatever.
one at a time, and moved low through the grass. Devin tapped on
That
the
is
next
normal
cabin's glass.
standing.
2 girls appeared at the glass and opened the window for us. Devin expertly gave me a foothold so I could silently tumble through and land inside the cabin.
Silently tumble through.
I quickly whispered everything we knew to them, as well as my plan. They joined us without hesitation, sneaking out the
I would
same
have been
window.
gone the first day, bro. I would have said, anyone who wants to come with me is coming with me. And drive off in the school bus.
Devin split off toward the archery range while we collected the next
Tell Monday what you need.
Mother-
We're creating an agent and naming him Tony. Now let's give him context. I'm giving Tony access to the
cabin, who had 3 more. One of them started crying the second we explained. Kayla grabbed her face with both hands. You can cry when we're safe. Right now, you move.
I
The
would've
girl
slapped
nodded
her.
and climbed through the
No,
window.
no, no.
Devin came back over with the hatchet in one hand and his face drained of color. Hannah's gone.
That
he
is not a... How did Hannah disappear? Hannah's being
whispered, the target she was on. She's not there anymore. All that's left is a
yeah.
pool of blood. I looked toward the range, but couldn't see much further than our small group in
But you saw that like 3 days ago, bro.
the dark. Lisa covered her mouth. What did they do with her body? One of the girls started breathing fast. Do you think they buried her? Or did they? Kayla grabbed both
Just
their arms.
go!
Stop. We're not doing this right now. We need to move, or we end up on one of those targets too. 9 of us moved in a line through the
Have you heard of-
shadows. Behind
Taking the arrows and bows.
the mess hall toward the tree line. The woods were 30 feet away. 20, 10. A flashlight snapped on behind us. Hey, what are you doing out here? We ran. The tree line swallowed us.
Well, how did you...
Branches tore at my arms and
Where? There's no
my
branch.
face and my legs.
Typically
My hair
animated.
got caught in a branch, but I kept
In Sukuna, using like a 0% dismantle, giving you a little
running.
paper cut.
Behind us, flashlights clicked on and voices shouted, "They went into the woods! Get them, idiots!" A counselor crashed through the brush and grabbed Devin
Kill
by the
his
backpack.
ass.
He was pulled back and slammed into the ground face first. The hatchet went flying and landed near Lisa, who picked it up and
kill his
ran
ass.
at the counselor who was standing over Devin. Lisa swung and the blade caught his forearm.
How did it hit him there? If that would happen, his arm would be severed.
He screamed and stumbled away. Devin scrambled up and
Cuts
grabbed the
nuts
hatchet
off.
with one hand and Lisa's hand in the other. We kept running.
Because it's Achilles, so he can't run.
However, the thick forest hid our view of one
Where the
another, and the group fractured. Pairs split left, trios split right. I heard screaming behind me, then a squelching sound. then only my breath as I ran and ran. I ran until every direction looked the same. I stopped behind a thick
Not
tree
far
and
enough.
pressed my back against the bark. My lungs burned. I pressed my
He's getting
hand
up
over
here
my
in
mouth
front
to
of her.
quiet my breathing and listened. I heard footsteps and crouched lower. That's when my knee pressed into something soft. I looked down and wanted to cry. My knee had touched a body. I
Is it
scrambled
Hannah?
backward into another tree. It was a boy who went to my college. I could tell from his school sweatshirt. Then I recognized him as Tyler, Brianna's boyfriend.
Oh, snap!
I stared in horror at the man who snuck in for a romantic rendezvous. I pinched my arm, trying to shock myself out of it. I spotted his phone in his jacket pocket and
That's
pulled
not
it out with
bad
shaking
service.
hands. No signal, but a sliver of battery.
Don't-
I scrolled to his music app, propped the phone against a tree root, cranked the volume to max, and ran fast in the opposite direction. Music echoed through the silent woods. Flashlight beams swung toward the sound like moths. I kept moving until trees thinned and I found a small cabin set back from a dirt path. I pushed the door open and stepped inside. My eyes were still adjusting when something
gonna
hit
be
the
like
back of my
30
head
eyes.
and the floor came up to meet me. I opened my
Came
eyes
up
and
to
saw
meet
dirt
you?
underneath me. Goosebumps arose on my skin. My hands were bound behind my
Ah,
back with
for
rope
God's
and I was laying in a circle.
How dumb are you to get? No one's falling for them. First of all, I would have looked behind me first. And climbed on. I would have snuck a flashlight too. If it's pitch black, you can't see anything. You'd have everyone, including the counselors, would be dead right now, tripping on knives or whatever, or probably frickin' getting in the
Where
counter
6
with a
other
bear.
cheerleaders sat beside me, bound the same way. Kayla was on my left.
You
Her
have
eye
your
was
legs
swollen shut
untied.
and her lip was
Idiots!
split. Blood had dried on her chin. Devin was across from me, still unconscious. Lisa sat next to him, willing Devin to wake up with her eyes. There were only 7 of us left. I sat up and looked around. We were in a clearing surrounded by trees so tall they blocked the stars. Torches burned in a wide circle around us, their flames hissing and spitting in the mountain air.
I would have just
At the
ran
center of the
through
circle stood a
them.
stone
Where did that come from?
altar. It looked older than anything on this mountain. Moss grew up
And
the
it has
sides,
one.
and the base was stained dark in ways I didn't want to think about. Carved into the face of the stone was a symbol, a circle with lines radiating inward.
Where's the
I thought about the
beach
symbol
room?
I saw on the town welcome sign when we first drove in. I looked further away from us and saw every person I'd encountered since we arrived. They stood around the torches, the counselors with their
Who is that? That guy is not.
two wide smiles. The
No, that's the only one.
gas station man from the bench who still hadn't blinked. Townspeople
Wasn't the gas station man?
I'd only glimpsed through the bus window when we drove in. There were 30, maybe 40 of them, all standing around, staring at us like a roach you found in your tub. The gas station man stepped forward. He looked directly at me. The land takes what it's owed. The head counselor walked to the altar
Your own ass is a pile of dirt.
and placed both hands on the stone. His too wide smile was
Simmy
gone.
hum diddy dum.
Every
That's what
year,
they're
the
about to
mountain
say.
calls for a large sacrifice, and we
No, it
answer.
doesn't.
A group arrives willingly. We welcome them. We show them a good time. I almost laugh at his definition of a good time. He paused. Each night, one is given to the land, and on the final
Your hands are on top.
one is given to the land. Laugh at his definition of a good time. He paused. Each night,
Never mind. I thought her hands were untied. No, her hands are.
every year, the mountain calls for a large sacrifice, and we answer. A group arrives willingly. We welcome them. We show them a good time. I almost laugh at his definition
Her
of a
hands are untied. Look. If you had the tied hands in that position, you couldn't. You can't have tied hands in that position.
good time. He paused. Each night, one is given to the land.
I just tell him
and on
to
the final
shut up.
night,
No, I just tell him to shut up, and then I just walk towards the fire. You know. Then they come close, knock it down on them, watch them burn.
the
Not
rest
that
are
hard.
given together. He looked at us. This is the final night. Their chanting started low, a hum that built from the edges inward. The town
This is torture.
In high school, and I have absolutely no idea what I want to do for my career. And that's what I would have said if I never used
townspeople swayed.
You know what? I'm changing like to 100. Like, so do this to his story.
Torchlight flickered across their faces and stretched their shadows into the trees behind them. Kayla's shoulder pressed against mine. Her breathing was fast
told
and
her to
shallow,
back
but
up.
she still smiled at me. I'm glad we're together. Devin started slowly waking up. The other girls were shaking in terror. I worked my fingers behind my back and found the handle of the blade tucked into my waistband.
See what I mean? See, look. Her hands were, one was there, one was there.
I smirked, thinking, I guess they thought a teenage girl in a cheer skirt wasn't a threat. The chanting grew louder. Suddenly,
Where did the people
an
go?
argument broke out near the altar. Two townspeople
damn.
shoved each other. The head counselor stepped away from the stone to stand between them. A woman screamed at an older man. I think the man should go first. He's already waking up. The older man pointed at his broken nose. No way. The bitch who broke my nose goes first. She needs to pay. I flipped the blade open and sawed, strand by strand. My wrists burned. Blood ran down my palms and made the handle slippery. Finally, the rope gave. My hands came free. I kept them behind my back and didn't move. I slowly leaned into Kayla. She opened her hands and the blade passed between us. She cut herself loose in seconds and passed it to Devin, who had finally woken up. Devin to Lisa. Lisa to the
Okay.
next girl. Down the circle, one by one, we passed the knife,
Wait,
while
if
40
they-
people screamed at each other by the altar. Nobody
now
looked
get
at us.
more knives.
We sat perfectly still with our hands
brought a
behind our
gun.
backs. I whispered, once I give the
I mean,
signal,
I
get to that
I wouldn't have brought in a gun, but if I did,
truck over there. Lisa looked at me. What signal? 3 men were chest to chest by the altar. I bolted forward, grabbed the nearest torch from the ground, and drove it into the base of the altar. The dry cloth caught instantly.
have you tried? Well, I would have threw it at the little like
Flames climbed the stone and
So
leapt to the
pretty.
wooden frame holding the torches.
wooden frame. That's clearly stone. That's candles,
Fire
not
spread
torches.
fast and hot, and the chanting collapsed into screaming. Their sacred altar was burning, and years of ritual was turning to ash. The others ran, and I turned to catch up with them. Devin made it
Not
to the
enough
truck
people are
first,
fitting.
searching around for keys. The
No.
keys fell from the visor,
Yeah.
and Devin shook them in triumph. Ha ha! We piled in. Kayla sat on my lap. Lisa hopped in the bed with a few others, gripping the sides. Devin turned the key, and the
She's
engine
not in
started
this
on the
shit.
first try. Devin drove the truck down the mountain in the dark, with only the headlights cutting through fog. The road curved and dropped and straightened out. Kayla looked around. I guess the rock slide was a lie. Behind us, through the trees, an orange glow climbed into the sky. The fire was spreading, consuming the campgrounds
Great.
and
I don't
soon
really
the
care.
surrounding forest. I looked at everyone in the truck. Kayla
They're gonna
next to
go back. They're gonna go back, get themselves killed trying to save the fire. That's how it's
me.
gonna happen.
Her eye was completely swollen shut now, blood on her chin,
Try
gripping the
opening it,
dashboard with
idiot.
white knuckles. Devin kept his eyes on the road,
What?
focused,
Why they're black? I just realized.
but I saw how 2 of his fingers were bent in the
Oh,
wrong
God,
way.
I just-
Lisa hugged the other
He's
girls in the truck bed. Out of an entire cheer squad, only we remained. I looked in the rearview mirror one last time to watch the fire grow.
Snickers crunchy peanut butter!
Oh, wait, it says ice cream, not ice cream. Can I try again?
Zoom in, sweetheart. My eyes are bad.
Some people can't help themselves.
Oh, that's it. Alright. Yeah. 100 likes, and I'll react to his bullshit YT story. Thanks for watching. Join the Discord.
Blue
I left this